Hey you guys, it's Christina from Raw Organic and Fully Raw. I have been a low-fat, raw vegan for almost 7 years now. That's a long time. And the most frequently asked question that I get every single day is, Christina, how do you eat raw? What do you eat in a day? Well, the thing is that I tell people it doesn't really matter what I eat in a day, but it will matter what you eat in a day. For the past 7 years, I've been eating what someone would call a low-fat, raw vegan lifestyle, or most people would call it 80-10-10. The term was coined a few years ago by Dr. Douglas Graham when he wrote the book, and it basically states that 80% of what you eat comes from carbohydrates, which come from fruit, 10% from proteins, which come from your greens or your vegetables, and 10% from fat, which come from nuts or seeds. And I know that this may sound like a fruit-heavy diet, but that's exactly what it is. 80% of my calories are coming from a simple sugar source, which is fruit, which is readily and easily absorbed by the body to help me function at my optimum best. 10% comes from greens, which is protein, and I know that that may sound like a very little bit to you, but it's actually more protein on a vegan raw food lifestyle that's recommended than any other one out there. And 10% only sounds like a little bit, but when you actually look at the amount of calories that it's coming from, it's actually a large amount of greens. And then 10% coming from nuts or seeds, which would be your fats. Now that sounds like a little bit, and it is a little bit. No more than a handful a day is actually helpful or beneficial to you. So what I've done today is I've actually prepared a few examples or a spread of meals that I'm gonna show you so that you guys can see exactly what it looks like to eat raw in a day, some examples of mono meals, some examples of fruit meals, what a dinner salad would look like, so that you guys can learn how to gauge and to plan and how to organize your meals throughout the day to help you be fully raw. All right, you guys, let's take a look at what I eat, or what you eat. I tend to eat anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day. But keep in mind that I'm a long distance avid runner, so I run about 6 to 8 miles a day and double that on the weekends. For the average Joe trying to eat raw, I typically recommend eating at least 2,000 calories a day with a special emphasis on fruit. This is to ensure that you guys get in enough energy in your day so that you can function at your maximum best. A little tool that I like to use to help you understand how much you're actually eating in a day is called Chronometer. A video I did a few weeks ago called Protein on Raw actually shows you how to do this and how to monitor what you're eating and to see how many calories you're eating on a day-to-day basis. The number one reason why people fail at eating raw is because they do not eat enough calories in a day. When people first start, they think that they're eating a lot because they feel full from all the water and the produce, but they're actually not eating that much. Most people will come to me and they'll say that they're full, but then they're only eating about 1,000 calories a day. No wonder people still feel tired. We need a lot more energy than that to be able to function and smile and be happy on a day-to-day basis. So what I recommend people to do is to be able to eat to their heart's content until they feel satisfied. And keep in mind, it may take a little bit of time to eat higher quantity of fruits and vegetables just because they're higher in water content. But keep in mind that your stomach is a muscle just like every other muscle in your body, and it will expand and contract to the amount of food that you give it. Okay, you guys, so let's look at what a few meals may look like to help you eat raw. Let's start with breakfast, shall we? Breakfast is supposed to be one of the most hydrating meals of the day because you're up and you're moving, and this is when your body is going to be releasing the most toxins and getting pumped up and fueled for your day, right? So my favorite thing to eat in the morning are juicy fruits. I tend to love drinking jars of citrus juice or grapefruit juice or orange juice. Right here I have 2 jars of Tangelo juice. Each one of these jars is about 350 calories, so both of them combined would be about 700 calories. It's easy to juice on the go, bring with you throughout the day if you're trying to get moving, and it's delicious. I love Tangelo juice. Another thing that you could do is you could eat melons. A half a watermelon is always a good option if you have time to sit out in the sun and crack it open. Right here I have 2 cut oak cantaloupes. depending upon the size, you can eat a bowl that looks like this, and it would be about anywhere from 450 to 600 calories, depending upon the size of your cantaloupes. Here are 3 easy examples of how to eat raw for lunch. I tend to eat fruit all throughout the day and then big salads at night. But I like to keep my body properly fueled, and I like to feel light to the step when I'm eating during the day, which is why I choose fruit. And it also keeps me hydrated. If you guys are too busy to eat raw, or if you feel that you're too busy to eat raw, fruit is always the best way to go because it's fast food. You can bring it with you anywhere, there's nothing to clean, and as long as you have a napkin to wipe off your face, you should be set. So, my first example of a raw lunch meal would be something easy to take with you, like pears or apples. This is great for a corporate setting because you can just bring it with you in a baggie on the go. I have about 10 pears here to show you that this would be about 650 calories to 750 calories, depending upon the size of the pear that you're using. You can also use apples or oranges to bring with you. If you were going to use oranges, maybe take about 16. My second example of a raw lunch would be something like berries, especially if I were going to spoil myself. This would be an example of a lower calorie lunch, but it would be very high in water content and extremely filling, and full of antioxidants. I'm sure you guys have always heard about berries. I love blueberries. So this probably has about 6 to 8 cartons of blueberries and about 2 or 3 pints worth of strawberries in this bowl. My third example of an easy to eat raw lunch is just bananas. I probably have about 12 bananas on this plate, and I eat bananas when I'm looking for a very filling or calorie dense meal. Typically after I go for long runs, I will eat a big plate of bananas. And keep in mind, you want to eat your bananas when they're speckled, because this means that they're ripe and that all of the starches have been properly converted into a simple sugar or something more readily used by your body so that you can be properly fueled. Dinner is my favorite meal of the day. It makes me so happy that I just want to sing. Oh, happy day, oh, happy day, oh, happy day, oh, happy day. So an example of what a raw dinner would look like would be something like this. I tend to eat my fruit all throughout the day, remember, and then I always start off my dinner by eating a little bit more fruit before I start my giant salad. I do this to kind of make sure that I'm topped up on my calories and made sure that I eat enough. I also like to have something sweet before my dinner and spoil my appetite, right? Which is important to satisfy your cravings for anything that you may want or need. And so right here, I tend to start off my meal with a plate of fruit, whatever it may be. Right here I have some local peaches from my produce cooperative here in Houston called Raw Fully Organic, which is the largest in the States right now. These baby gorgeous peaches, for any of you guys who love peaches, so good. And this is an example of what a large salad of mine would look like. It has about 2 heads of romaine, some spinach, some kale, and even some Swiss chard in there, and I have some cut up zucchini and tomatoes. I typically tend to make my own salad dressings, and I make a lot of them because I love to have savory salads. I hope most of you guys have found this video to be extremely helpful to you when learning how to eat raw or to figure out how to plan your meals or the quantity of your meals in your day. I know that this may look like a lot of food to some of you and a little food to some others of you as well. But keep in mind, these are just examples to help you be fully raw and to help inspire you to eat more fruits and vegetables on a day-to-day basis. I want to make a special announcement that my recipe competition for Fully Raw Christina will be beginning on May 21st. I'll be giving out a free Vitamix blender and 10 people access into my recipe archive at Raw Fully Organic, so be sure to check that video out as well. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel at Fully Raw Christina, where you guys can get tips and recipes to learn how to be fully raw and to feel your best on a day-to-day basis. Or you can subscribe to my other channel at Raw Fully Organic, where I teach you how to live in cooperative communities, grow your own produce, and to feature Raw Fully Organic here in Houston, Texas. All right, you guys, I think it's time to go get your fruit on, and I hope that you have an awesome day being fully raw. Bye.